Hello and welcome back to Higher Sense with Haz, and today's review is going to be Madagascar by Insider Parfums, plus a bonus twist. This is a 50ml bottle and I believe it's a parfum concentration, although it doesn't say explicitly on the bottle or on the box that it comes in. It is priced at £85 for 50ml, which makes it £1.70 per milliliter. There is a bit of a twist in today's review, and I'll go on to explain why in just a second. Insider Parfums is the sister company of Soma Parfums. Soma Parfums is a company which is owned by one of my associates, and that is Dan Rothschild. This guy I've had some interactions with on the forums. Very pleasant guy, sometimes can have a few very interesting opinions, and this is one of his latest iterations that he's released as a limited edition run. He said he may rerun this in the future if he can get the ingredients for it. It's called Madagascar. As you can probably tell, it's a vanilla based fragrance, and I'll go on to tell you exactly why he has released this. This fragrance is an inspired by fragrance, and it's inspired by Henry Jacques, or Henry Jacques, whichever way you want to pronounce it. The subtitles I'm sure will be telling you. And that is Blue Vanille by Henry Jacques. Now that fragrance retails at around £1,200 for 30 millilitres. That makes it approximately £40 per milliliter. Now this is an extremely expensive niche fragrance. So what Dan and his colleagues at Insider Parfums have done is they've took the scent profile, which is a great scent profile, and they have kind of replicated it here. They have brought Blue Vanille to the masses at an affordable price. Now today's review is going to be twofold. First of all, I'm going to tell you what this smells like and if it's any good. And then the bonus bit of content is I have managed to get 1 milliliter of official Henry Jacques Blue Vanille. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Madagascar on one hand, Blue Vanille on the other hand, let it settle, and I'm going to compare the scents and see if indeed they are similar or if they're simply worlds apart. So as I go on to today's review, I just want to quote from Insider Parfums to tell you the point of the operation. Explore discontinued favourites, reimagined classics and fragrances usually out of reach financially, allowing you to possess the unobtainable. Now that is great, and I think, you know, for your everyday working man who enjoys fragrances and he wants to try a fragrance which, you know, like Henry Jacques, a normal person wouldn't be able to afford or couldn't justify spending that amount of money on, Dan and Insider Parfums has come up with something which can give you what you want at a fraction of the price. So now I'm going to go on and test these and tell you, does he hit his narrative? The proof is in the pudding. So the notes in Madagascar by Insider Parfums are as follows. In the top we have geranium and cardamom, and then in the mid we have tobacco leaf and woods, and then in the base we have vanilla. Now the scent profile, the only difference in the Henry Jacques, I'll just call it HJ fragrance from now on for those of you who don't like me pronunciation, the HJ Blue Vanille has the same notes in the same order, but it has musk in the base. I'm guessing it's probably a white musk. So let the comparisons begin. So Madagascar, it's presented in a very nice bottle there with a quite classy label. The lid is heavy, it is metal, which is what we like, and it fits on there very snugly. It's not magnetic, but it's not coming off in the month of Sundays. Let's see what it's like. The atomizer sprays like this. Well, such a good atomizer, it's gone straight in my eyes, but there you go. An excellent cloud of fragrance, a very, very good atomizer there. I'm happy with that. Seemed pressure sensitive as well. I'll give it another blast just to check if that was the case. Yeah, that's the case. Very good cloud of fragrance. Yeah, can't complain with the atomizer on that. Unfortunately, I'm not comparing the atomizer on this, but so far as the initial smell goes, and I will be putting it on my hand to compare, freshly washed hands, freshly out of the shower, and might I add, I also took a nasal decongestion a couple of hours ago so I can totally take in everything these fragrances have got to offer and give you the best review here on Higher Sense. So, initially, yes, you can instantly smell the vanilla. It's very nice. There's definitely cardamom in there, I can smell that. Touch of woods maybe, yes, but it's the vanilla that hits you initially. The cardamom is also there. Now I'm going to put these on my hands and then give them a direct comparison. Let's get these on skin. I'm going to give 2 full sprays and then I'm going to give them time to air out a little bit. Just to let the alcohol evaporate, let the fragrance settle so you're not just hit with top notes. Then I'm going to compare them and see if the scent profiles are similar. Now, the HJ Blue Vanille, 1 milliliter at retail costs £40. Now, approximately, let's say 8 sprays per milliliter, that is £5 per spray, which to anybody apart from the absolute financial elite, that is not reasonable to pay for a fragrance. But here at Higher Sense, I've pushed the boat out and I've managed to get some of this for you to test today. Just a shout out to Mr. Raphael Franco for providing me with the sample of Henry Jacques Blue Vanille for me to do not only the review but the direct comparison. Thanks to him for providing me with this sample. So that's £5, that's £10. Right, okay then. £10 on the right hand, let's let it air out and then I'll be back in a few minutes to give you a direct comparison of Madagascar with Blue Vanille. Okay, so I'm just letting the fragrances settle down on my hands. I'm going to quickly tell you what I got from Madagascar when I tried it a few days ago, and I've gave it a few wearings. Obviously, what you get is vanilla, you get cardamom, the tobacco does come through, it's very nice. They're the main notes that I get. It's quite strong, it lasts well. I got easily 7 or 8 hours. The sillage, the scent bubble around me was good. It was good, it was noticeable when I was moving. I did have a few people actually ask me what I was wearing when I was at work in close proximity. The projection, I think, was a good 2 feet of projection. Wasn't a monster projector, but neither was it intimate. But certainly for the price and for how much you're getting, the performance on it was very good. Now I've let these air off a bit. I've tried to fan the scent out of the room. I'm going to go directly onto my hand, freshly washed skin, 2 sprays on each. I've let them rest for 5 minutes and I'm going to tell you, do they smell similar and then do they smell the same. First of all, I'm going to go in with the Madagascar from Insider Parfums. Okay, now I'm going to go with the HJ Blue Vanille. Okay, now what I will say is, are they a similar scent profile? Yes. Is there some difference in there? Yes, there is for me. Now, directly comparing, Madagascar seems like a very creamy vanilla. It's quite light, it's quite bright, it's like a best way to describe it to you would be a very bright yellow vanilla, almost like a custard consistency. It's quite light, it's quite bright, and it's very sweet. With some spiced cardamom, which is very nice. Touch of geranium, and an undertone of woods. It's very balanced, it's very nice. Now comparing it to the Blue Vanille from HJ. Now for me, I think the cardamom is slightly heavier. The vanilla is there, but it seems a touch darker. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the musks in here. I don't think it is. But yes, the cardamom seems slightly more apparent and the vanilla seems a bit darker, almost like it's got an ambery touch. All in all, they both smell very nice. They are comparable, and like you say, it's an inspired by fragrance. It's not supposed to be a one-to-one clone, but Dan has used the best quality ingredients to try and replicate this scent to bring it to the masses. Has he done that? Yes, I believe that he has, especially with the price comparison, with the Insider Parfums version being less than 10% of the retail price of the HJ fragrance. At the end of the day, the differences are very small. Are they noticeable? Up close to a connoisseur fragrance like myself, yes, I would say you can tell the subtle differences. However, it's an excellent effort, especially at the price that he's selling it for. And all in all, I'd be very happy to say that Madagascar is a very good inspired by fragrance of Blue Vanille. Can I recommend this fragrance? Yes, I think I can. Price, excellent. Scent profile, very good. Now, the thing is, in the air, these may smell very similar. Okay, so I'm going to smell them at more of a distance. Now that's very interesting. Right. Okay. Now, at a distance, now I've managed to air out the room, there's less of a difference in the air, which has took me by surprise actually. Up close, the difference is detectable, but in the air, when passing my hand past my face, they are very similar, very similar. Now that has both surprised me, intrigued me, and made me very happy, because I was a bit concerned that this was going to be a somewhat similar scent profile but missed the mark. But and I hope Dan doesn't mind us mentioning this, but when I quickly spoke to him about his upcoming release, he did say that I'd be very happy with the product, and it was a very similar scent profile. He seemed confident in that, and now testing it side by side, I can see why. So yes, can I recommend this fragrance? On full review there, absolutely. And I want to send my props to Dan for the effort that him and his team at Insider Parfums have made on this fragrance. I think it's an excellent replica of a very expensive fragrance. Now, if I paid £1,200 for 30 millilitres of this, would I be happy? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be happy paying £1,200 for any amount of fragrance unless it was half a litre, but 30ml for £1,200, that's exorbitant, it's extortionate, and quite frankly I don't believe the ingredients could cost that much. However, £89 for 50 millilitres of Insider Parfums Madagascar, I can fully recommend. Now what I will say is go on insiderparfums.com. It is sold out at the moment, but Dan has said on the forums that he may well be able to make another run of this. I can imagine a lot of time and effort goes into not only making the perfume but also to get the ingredients, because Dan doesn't cut any corners. He's not going to release something unless he's happy with it. Obviously he's going to make it, he's going to let it sit and mature and macerate and all them other little processes, and then he'll release it. I'm very lucky to have got a bottle of Madagascar, and quite frankly I'm very, very impressed with it. So, the dry down, and what I mean by that is not the scent's dry down, but my dry down, so to speak, so far as the review goes. I think both fragrances are very nice, but I think the value for money for Madagascar is excellent, and I fully recommend, if you can get your hands on this fragrance, get your hands on it. It's a very classy, beautiful, bright, sweet, vanilla-based fragrance, but it also has a touch of tobacco, some nice woods, a bit of geranium in the top, and I think all in all it's been blended very well. 50ml for £85 is a very good deal. Does Madagascar by Insider Parfums cut the mustard? Well, what I'll say is it's anything but vanilla.